James Foster joins us. James, just perhaps a brief reflection on what's been a sad end to the season for Essex in this match, and then perhaps we just review positives and things of the season where we can move forward. Just briefly refer to this one, probably really outplayed right from the start, weren't we, in truth?
Yeah, I think the facts are that, let's not beat about the bush, we were poor in this game. As much as you didn't want to have the sort of last season kind of feel about it, end of season, but look, I mean, we were poor with the ball and with the bat, no doubt about that. And but look, I don't think we can afford just to, finish on this note and reflect on the season on the way we just finished this game. I thought we've been outstanding this season, in particularly I think the last half of the season, in all forms of the game, and I also particularly have enjoyed the brand of the four-day cricket that we've played. I think the last sort of, as I said, halfway through, is it the sort of 6 to 8 games, I do feel that we've been a very good four-day side. I felt that we've batted exceptionally well. We put totals on the board when quite a few times, say, losing the toss and being inserted in the conditions which haven't been favourable for batters. We've put a decent score on the board, whereas I think in the past we might have maybe just crumbled and have thought that these conditions are quite tough. It's not ideal, but I think the way that our young batters improved has been great to see, and the fact I think this back part of the season we've kind of bossed quite a few four-day games, albeit we haven't quite had the victories, partly at times due to the weather, but that's for me, that's a fact. It hasn't helped us when we've been in very strong positions in the game. But look, I think it's been an encouraging season as a whole, and I think we've improved from last year. But then I think it's also very important that we improve for next season. I think a lot of work's got to be done in the winter still, which is exciting from being a captain of this team. I think there's a lot more that this team can give, which bodes very, very well.
Do you see many changes to the playing personnel, James, or is it too early to say? We've just got to see what happens.
I think it's far too early to say at the moment, Paul. It's just, I think, but I do feel that the crop of players we have, we've got a lot of options. We've got a lot of young guys who are now putting their hand up, putting regular good performances. As long as us old blokes can sort of hang on in there as well. But it's great to see the likes of Graham Napier having the outstanding season that he's had. I think he's the longest serving player on the staff, and to shows that no matter how old you are, you can still be brilliant. And everyone's absolutely delighted for the season that he's had with the bat and the ball. The fact he carried our batting, probably started seeing the four-day cricket. But I think the way we played our one-day cricket's been excellent. Obviously, getting to the finals day is an achievement in itself. Obviously, would have been nice to have won that.
Yeah.
But in the YB40, the fact we just missed out in qualification, which is always tough for any of those teams to get out of that group, is been encouraging. But as I said, it doesn't mean that it hasn't been an amazing season, but I think it's been a good, encouraging season. I know there's been a couple of iffy performances along the way, but I think that sometimes sport sometimes lends itself to that a little bit. But we've just got to continue and improve. We've got to evolve and be a better side next season.
Perhaps summarise the shoots of hopefully success are beginning to come through, James.
Yeah, I think so. Look, I mean, as I said, I think the younger guys are getting better and better, which is great to see. Mm-hmm. Still getting the performances from likes of Graham, likes of Hoddy and co. And obviously the IPL boys come back in; they're always doing their job. But I think a special mention for Jake, the way he's performed in the four-day format. Also Tom Wessel, it's been unfortunate for Tom having that big injury to his finger. But I think it's really, really encouraging for us, and I think we can have maybe a more settled side maybe next year, because I think there's only for maybe like 2 games in a row we've had the same side. Yeah. We've always had to chop and change either through a variety of reasons. But I think also Greg Smith, the way he's performed as well. I think that 2020 campaign kicked him off, and then he's shown what he can do, and he's been superb with the bat and the ball. So, looking at it for next season, I'm very excited. I really believe that we can have a good season next year, but we have to kick on individually and collectively. We have to look at ourselves and think, where can we improve? I don't want it just to be a winter where we just tick along, we just have a couple of hits and the guys bowl off a couple of balls. That's not what it's all about. We need to improve.
Good way to finish on. Thanks for your time, James.